Welcome back for match number 2. After that rather frustrating loss in the first match, we are on the draw this time. Gonna have to mulligan this. If only one of these cigadas would be a second land, then that hand would be so sweet, but no. Oh, damn. I just accidentally capped. But we got lucky. So let's see if we can pull this off. I completely misclicked while talking to you guys and just accidentally kept this hand, but we get super lucky and it turns out really well actually. So I think Copter is probably the play. I mean, Copter is almost always the play, so. Plus we have some clunky cigars to get rid. This looks like some kind of aggressive Delirium list, probably, I think. I mean, I don't know of a list with Scroundra. Oh yeah, now we try it. That's definitely like green-black Delirium aggro rather than the mid-rangey variant. Alright, so time to man this copter. And get in there. The reason why I didn't play the Tenet here is because I might draw into something that I rather play, even though it's not that likely. So guess not even sure if I want to discard Cigada here actually, because the first one's probably gonna eat removal, so the second one's gonna be really good. I think I'm just gonna discard that excess land. Now we're gonna have to play this anyway. I guess if I would have drawn a Duskwatch Recruiter here, I would have played that instead, but all in all I probably should have played the Lieutenant before combat in hindsight. Catacomb Sifter. There's some Cigada action. Grow the Copter. Lieutenant seems fine. And I think we don't attack with these guys because what do we? I mean, we trade against the Scion. Actually, I think I kind of like attacking here. If he trades away his Dryad, that's kind of good for us, I think. Also now we actually drew a way to punish him and blow him out if he double blocks. Yep. There's the double block. I think then we're gonna protect our guy, eat the Sifter, and get rid of both of his guys. It's debatable whether I should have discarded the second Cigada or the fifth land here, because now we might not have a guaranteed Cigada next turn, but we have a guaranteed 2 Cigadas this game, which arguably might be better against a black base deck. And we got there anyway. So manning this Copter again. If I find a better land to discard, I'm gonna discard that. No better land to discard, so I'm gonna discard the Duskwatch. Rather have the backup Cigada here. But yeah, this game looks pretty good. Also, I have to say it's interesting that Craig chose Cigada over Avacyn here. but I guess once the the Avacyn trigger is done, Sigarda even beats Avacyn in combat, which is kind of nice, and doesn't die to an Avacyn ambush, if that's the only creature they have. Alright, we managed to win that game. That was kinda lucky. Okay, so we want Declaration. Do I want like Conduit Gideon in this matchup? Probably not, that's only for like regular slow green-black, so I think I'll just cut Ovia, since he has a lot of like early blockers, and just swap that with a Declaration and leave it at that, because I think I kind of like Sigarda against them, even though they are more aggressive. They are not like a super aggressive deck like the red-black deck from before, and the Sigarda can easily turn around the late game once we kind of like stabilized and got into a bit of a stall. Alright, that's pretty good. 6. Gonna put that on the bottom. Should have plenty of time to find that extra land in time, so I rather not flood out, because I don't really want to draw the 5th land. Okay, so now we can even draw a 5th land. I think kind of close which one is better. I'm pretty sure I can't attack. That's probably better because it protects us better from an attack. And if he like wants to kill it to get an attack through, he has to kill like the weaker creature. And starting to grow champion is probably better than getting this one bigger. I guess now it's about time to find that land. Hope we don't get punished for not wanting to draw the 4th land right away, which I still think is a correct decision, because you don't want to basically have 4 lands in your 7 opening a hand if that's all you have in a deck like this. But yeah. Now the deck's mocking me. Alright, there's our 4th land. Better late than never, but yeah, Sky Sovereign is kind of gonna tear us a new one here. Discard. So good. Now we really need a Stasis Snare, otherwise Sky Sovereign is just gonna crush us here. Yep. Getting crushed. Not sure what the point of the Sifter attack is, but gonna block. But yeah, that was a pretty gross turn, to say the least. At least we get to protect our Inspector and play some defense, but this game is not looking good. Still in desperate need of a Stasis Snare. Then the game actually would probably look pretty decent, but I mean, I can like double block this. I think I kind of have to. What do I? I mean, taking 9 here seems pretty bad, so I guess I do. Yeah, we got that here. Sky Sovereign claimed sovereignty and pummeled us pretty hard. I maybe want to plummet, like just one against Sky Sovereign and his copters. Seems a bit desperate though. But a 1-off against like probably 6 of his cards seems okay. I actually think it's not too bad. And I might just cut one cigar. Gonna try that. I mean, he probably has like 2 Sky Sovereign and 4 Copters. So that's okay. 6 threats to a 1 answer. It's not a terrible ratio. So most of the time he should have a target if we draw a plummet. Bit of a slow start, but Copter makes up for it. Okay, that's a bit too many Copters, if there is such a thing as too many Copters. But the opponent has a very slow hand as well. That helps. Okay. He made sure that we actually get some use out of our multi-copter draw. There's his copter. And something to man it. That's a bit annoying, actually. But what can you do? Hopefully find a land is what we want to do. Let's see if he's gonna trade copters here. Wouldn't be too bad if we find a land in our copter, because then we can just play the next one. Yes, that's nice. So I think that's the card we want to be discarding here. Yep, trading copters is happening, which is kind of good for us. I guess, as I said, if there is such a thing as too many copters, turns out there isn't, because only because we drew 3 copters we are still having a copter around. Alright. Man up. And in. Down goes our copter. Then we can get in for 1 because Quagmire's shut down. Every damage counts. Glad that doesn't kill anything. Makes our next turn a bit more awkward. So, yes, that gives us a land. don't really feel like running into that guy here. So I guess our best option is just to pass and either champion or double clue, depending on what the opponent is doing. Because this guy would just die to Liliana, which is not very appealing. Yeah, okay. Time to dig for some removal. Let's see what he does. That is interesting, and I don't mind that. So if he's gonna attack now, I'm just gonna trade with Heron's Grace Champion. No, he doesn't want to. That's fine. Time to find a removal. That is not removal. At least not yet. Alright, now we can protect the guy. The opponent tries to blow us out. And we can also grow our tracker to a point where it beats the guy. So our ultimate is 7. So we start building a proper board. And we even have a block for the Dryad, as long as it doesn't get Delirium. Which he is like one card type away from, so I have to be careful. Alright. Time to draw some cards. Make our guy really big. I mean, there should be a removal eventually. And then we can turn this game around. Fortunately enough, there's no Raz or anything anymore to make our life miserable. So basically still have to pass. Just one removal. Can't be that hard. I mean, we run 8. And draw a lot of cards. He's killing stuff left and right. That's awkward. I guess time to pass again. Or is it actually? Like, I kind of have to attack Liliana here, I think. Because now we're getting into like dangerous territory. That is super awkward. At least we probably get rid of the Gear Hulk and get Liliana to like 1 less. No, he does it that way. Come on, please block the lieutenant. Yes! Nice. So at least we get to properly retaliate and gain a lot of life. So, Liliana disaster prevented and million life gained. We still have Duskwatch Recruiter to refill, so we should be fine. Liliana still being quite the annoying threat. Opponent might get back the Gearhawk though. So, really still need a removal. But yeah, that's like the power that I talked about in the deck tag of the deck being capable of also playing like a grindy mid-range game. Alright. There would have been our removal. But not like we know. I think we rather just whiff. And now he can flip. So once again we basically have to make a bad attack to not get screwed by Liliana. He's gonna eat the big guy, eat one of the smaller guys, and we deal some damage to Liliana. I was kind of afraid he would do that. That is interesting. Now we get rid of the Dryad. I guess he really needed that force land still, so that's okay. Plus any blocker he plays comes to play tapped thanks to Thalia, so we're actually in a decent spot now aside from being pretty flooded. Can kill the Liliana, especially if that's what we draw. That is nice. Yes, and finally a removal. Better late than never. Die, Liliana, die. So. Since we are on 49, I don't really care about the Scrounger. I'd rather get rid of the Copter and let the Scrounger stay around, because he probably has more creatures to man the Copter anyway. And it's not like we gonna get any less life with a 4/4 lifelink. Seems like we finally grinded the opponent out and grinded through his Liliana, which was really nice. Nope, no attacking. Sucked in. There we go. And Thalia is actually pulling quite some weight here. Jeez, we are so flooded, it's unreal. But looking pretty good nonetheless. Opponent so far behind, and Thalia will make sure that he will stay that far behind. Yeah. Race us, please. And that's some more free humans. Has to block the lifelinker or the lieutenant. Alright. Thanks for blocking the lifelinker. Then we're just gonna make like a really big lieutenant, which is arguably even better since it can keep growing. Alright, so there's that. Not sure why our opponent didn't scoop yet. But yeah, this deck is very versatile. Can curve out aggressively and play the beatdown role, and if that doesn't work, just sit back and grind them out with like 10 grind engines and post sideboard Gideons to add to the grind potential. Just great, and Copter generating virtual card advantage, getting rid of access lands and stuff. It's just some really nice built-in card advantage engines here. Alright, that went a lot better than match 1, even though I misclicked very poorly on the first keep. So don't think that was an appropriate keep, that was a terrible misclick and that was 100% mulligan, but we didn't get punished for it, so even better. And I left this match in the video simply because of how nice the match turned out in the end. Especially this game showing the raw grind power of this game, grinding out a more aggressive Delirium version. Even with like an incredible flood. So yeah, that was some really nice showing of the deck. See you in the next video with the final match.